Hello and welcome back. Ray Tabano, we're here for another episode of Bring It On. We're going to have a fun night tonight, I got to tell you. Because tonight we have a very young band with us, and these are the kind of guys that we're looking for. Young bands that are just starting out, you know, that are original bands. And you don't find a lot of them because you got a lot of bands up here that are club bands, okay? This band is called Back From Nothing. And I got to ask, let me see now, who we got here? We got Nick.
Yep.
And we have Stephanie.
Yes.
And Willie Henry.
Yep.
And we'll get to that later. And we got Harrison in the back.
We got Marlon.
And Marlon in the back row, Mr. Bassman. Okay, and so let's talk a little bit about your band. First of all, where'd the name come from?
The name came from Marlon. That's all Marlon.
All right, so Nick, Henry, and I have been playing for like about a year now, and like we've had some side projects that haven't really worked out. So from there, we started a new band completely, and we decided, like we were nothing before. So now we're back from nothing.
Yeah, like because our old band brought
I got
us
it.
nowhere.
That's great. Okay, so you three guys know each other, and then where did this pretty young lady come from?
Well, I called Stephanie up one night and I said, "Listen, Stephanie."
Hold on. How did you get Stephanie's number?
Me and him met my sophomore year of high school. We went to the same school.
Okay.
And we just became best friends ever since. So I was like there for him through a lot of stuff, and he was there for me. So we just kept in contact all those years. So then he started a band, and I encouraged him to do it because, you know, it was his escape way to all of his problems. And I offered to be the vocalist, but he wanted to find other people first. So he went through a couple of rough patches, and then one night he just called me and said, "Hey, like we don't have a lead singer, and we really like want you to try out," because he knows that I previously have been singing. So I tried out, they loved me, and then from there we just stuck with each
It's
other.
probably easy to love you, but I understand what's going on. And then how did Harrison get involved in this whole thing?
Harrison.
I just floated my
No, I met him at Wells Fargo.
like one day they were in a room and you were just
He
there.
was just there.
I was there.
I went out and I was like, "Listen, Harrison, like I heard of you, you heard of me, and I love this tattoo. Show me your tattoo." He has a tattoo of
Jack the Skeleton.
Hold it up, hold
like,
and I was like,
got
"I
one of
love."
those?
Yeah, I was like, "I love that tattoo," and I showed him a demo of Lone Wolves when I sang it originally, and he was like, "I love this, man. This is really cool." And then our original lead guitarist was just like, he left us for nothing, and then I called Harrison up and I was like,
Fool.
I called Harrison up and I was
Kicking
like,
himself in the ass now, right? Okay.
I called Harrison up and I was just like, "You know what, Harrison, like, I feel like you're really good at guitar." And he came over, brought his 1986 Fender, and it was a busted guitar, and he played it, and it was amazing. And he wrote 11 leads in about a month, and then he recorded with us, and then we
That's
just been
great. Yeah,
really
we're going to play some of your videos, and I listened to a bunch of the stuff on your album today. I put it on, and I picked up my bass guitar, and I played along with it, and I really enjoyed a lot of it, man. So let's talk a little bit about this, because when she was telling me about you, I'm getting the idea that you're like this moody artist. Which I love. I mean, I love moody artists because they come up with great stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? You know these guys that oh, I think I write a song. And but how did this whole thing come about? I mean, you guys, what town? You're from Yorktown. The whole band's from Yorktown.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you put the band together, and tell me a little bit about like who influenced you. I mean, what kind of artists? What artists did you listen to? And I'm going to say when you were younger, because you really like you're all teenagers now.
Yeah.
Except for somebody back there who's like a little older than.
He's funny.
So you're all teenagers. So when you were younger, who did you listen to that influenced your music?
Well, to be honest, my mom used to work at Arista Records under Clive Davis, and when she raised me right. She had Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, Black Sabbath. That was the music inspiration. And then my songwriting came from Brian Sella from the Front Bottoms, because I said if he can do it, anyone can do it. Very underground band.
Those are big names. I like big names. And how about you, young lady?
Well, my music inspiration was Christina Aguilera. And ever since I was a kid, I just loved hearing her vocals because they were unique. Because instead of just singing, she would bend her vocals, which is very, very complicated. Not a lot of artists can do it. So I started singing when I was 7. And I taught myself how to sing. I've never had vocal lessons professionally. I would just look on YouTube and I would practice and practice, you know.
Thank God for the internet.
But I did listen to a lot of Led Zeppelin and Van Halen because my dad's a guitar freak. But I come from a musical...
Your dad plays guitar?
Yeah, I come from a musical background of family. My cousin's an opera singer. I used to play the violin a little bit. It's a mixture of a lot of things. I used to write my own songs, but mostly Christina Aguilera inspired me.
That's another thing. So you write most of the songs?
I write all the lyrics,
You write all the
and I write all the rhythm. So I usually write the songs, and I'll bring it to my brother. I'll be like, all right, William, put a drum beat to this.
This is this guy over here that kind of looks like you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me the story again, because I want everybody to hear this. His name is William Ferry, but they call him Henry. Where did that come from?
Basically, we had his friend Bobby, right?
Yeah.
He used to come over all the time. He was like a little older than you, so he must have been like 5, maybe 6 years older than me. And I would see him every once in a while, and he would forget my name all the time. So, like this one time, he came back and he was like, "Oh yeah, your brother's over there. What's your name? I'm gonna call you Henry. You look like a Henry." And I was like, "All right, whatever." And it just stuck. It just stuck. I don't
I think he has a twin brother, Henry.
know. Yeah, that's what.
I see that. Okay, that's pretty cool. And how about you back there, Harrison? Who influenced you with your music, man?
My mom raised me to listen to all old school music like Motown and things like that, so she had me listen to The Who one day. I got into the car and it wasn't what I was used to listening to. I was like, what is this? And she had the song Who Are You on. And I liked the fact that it sounded kind of like a rap song at the beginning, but like throughout the end it was just like a display of just really good music and craftsmanship behind the songs. That, Pink Floyd,
Love Pink Floyd.
a lot of the older bands, Aerosmith, all the,
Oh, I know those guys.
yeah.
They're a great band.
Black Sabbath, AC/DC, just any of the older music. And I wanted to play drums at first. My mom ended up buying me a guitar, and I'm like, that was the one thing I asked you to get me was the drum set, and you got me a guitar. What am I supposed to do with this? I took lessons for about a month, and I guess I just was like, you know what? I got an instrument, might as well, make do with it. And it ended up being the instrument that I fell in love with.
That's a great story, man.
And here I am.
Your mom didn't want to go nuts with headaches, so she
brought me a guitar.
She wouldn't have to listen to you. Then you wind up being a great guitar player.
Yeah, exactly.
Wonderful. Well, tell me about you. Who influenced you a little bit?
For these guys, I never really had like a figure. Like my parents never. I'm Hispanic, so the type of music I listen to is like a lot of salsa, for example. So I discovered a lot of Metallica, for example. Like I started listening to them through the internet. Thank God. If not, I wouldn't have found Les Claypool. That's one of my biggest inspirations. Flea, Jesus Christ. There's not a day where I'm not jamming out to Flea.
Very cool. So listen, we're going to play one of the songs. We're going to play a song called Shady Business, and it's exactly about that. It's about shady business, man. You know what I'm saying? And we've all gotten into it once in a while, so beware. But let's listen to this song a little bit, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit about it, okay?
There's a place where this person runs a very specific business, and he makes a lot of money, and he's not ashamed to say it. I made it here from an argument that got us kicked out of your house, and I'm stuck in a situation where I can't get myself out. You have problems that you need to sort out, and I must leave so that you can figure them out. We got in trouble for everything that we do, and if it hasn't happened yet, you know it's going to. I'll message you, you'll message me, we will try to find somewhere to meet. Old friends are old for a reason. It's nice to meet up with them and catch up for old time's sake. One of them.
We're back! Yeah! Okay, man. That was wonderful. You guys look great on stage.
Thanks.
I got to tell you, you move around, you're young, and all these good things are happening, man. Tell me about that song a little bit. Oh, here we go, man. Hold on.
Here comes the emotional side.
It's very, all my songs come from a very serious place because I suffer from a lot of issues like mentally. So when I get really frustrated or really angry or upset, I put them into a song. And I made that specific song when I was in a situation that I couldn't get myself out of. I was in a really dangerous situation and I really needed to leave and I couldn't. And that you don't want that feeling. It's a horrible feeling. So that happened about 6 months ago. Thanks, Harrison. That happened about 6 months ago, and I wrote a song about it, you know. And when I showed it to my brother, he loved it. He put that drum beat to it. It sounded amazing. And that's how you get it out on stage. That's how you make that emotion. Like, you just have to really be passionate about it, what you're singing about. All those stories that I wrote happened. They're all true.
You know, I can relate to that too because like most of the stuff that I write about my experiences and how I feel about things, man. And it's very important to be able to do that, man. And it's good that, you know, I got to tell you something. I get a really great band, you know, gang crew from you guys, man, which is very, very important, man. It really is because you lift each other up, you support each other, man, and it makes more stuff come out of you. It's just a great way to be, man. You know what I'm saying? So listen, let's talk about this. So you said you did like one gig with this band so far. All right.
Yeah, technically with all.
So you're not
of us,
virgins anymore. That's great.
Definitely.
That's wonderful.
I don't know
man.
about William. But I don't know.
No, I'm talking about a band. Don't be pointing at people going like. Don't be doing that stuff, man. Talking about the band. So you actually played a gig, right?
We played a gig. We went on there. Everyone was expecting us to do really bad, honestly. There were people in there that didn't like us because I write these songs about people that I know. And so we played at our high school. And by the end of it, everyone loved it. We had the principal dancing to our stuff.
That was my first
And
gig.
it was the first gig.
So I was really nervous, and I got like goosebumps, and when I got up there, like the first song wasn't good. I'm not gonna lie, it was not good. But then I like saw my mom and dad like sitting in the back, and it kind of made me feel more comfortable.
Listen, it's always bad when the first song is really great. Because like, where am I going to go from here? It's like playing golf and hitting a hole in one the first shot. Now what? It's okay if you gradually get up there.
But then it progressively got better. And
We picked it up after the first
Yeah,
song.
Oh
we
yeah,
did.
after the first song.
After
We
the
did.
You
first
did
song, we just
all
got
original
the
songs.
all original
Hey, we don't play nobody else's music, man.
But I guess one of the biggest things that comes out on stage with us is we're pretty much a family, and that's what
It feels that way.
And that's what comes out on stage. That's the performance we give to people.
And we kind of just laugh off our mistakes. We don't like ponder on
Well,
them.
the thing is this, nobody starts off at the top. You got to work your way up
Yeah.
there. And life is, a series of trials and error. And what you want to do is try not to make the same mistake twice. And if you do, don't make it as bad. Because that's what
the first
happens
time
with
I
that kind of
completely
stuff.
forgot the
But
lyrics.
we know, like I said, I listened to your album all day today, and I listened to it before, and I wrote a couple of things down because like I liked a lot of little stuff that was going on with this particular song over here. I liked a little back and forth with the vocals. I liked the riff. You got a solid drum beat to it, man. Like I said, you're a young band. You got a long way to go, but this is a pretty good start as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you.
As a matter of fact, Steve, our producer over in the shadows over there, we listened to it and we talked a little bit about it. And we're going to be doing the Bring On All Stars next month, right? Out in Ardsley on the 22nd of April, and we're going to have a bunch of people that we had on the show before. The old mofos are going to be there, and we're going to have Janine Ferrara there. Crazy Raymond is rumored to have. He might show up with the Watchdog band, and we're going to have this young band come up there and play a few songs for us too. So that'll be happening on April 22nd in Ardsley. We'll be setting stuff out on the internet. We'll have some flyers and stuff like that, so you can have your second gig.
Oh, we're ready. We're so ready to play gigs.
We'll bring all your
since
friends
the
and
end
stuff
of the
and do
first
things
gig,
like
so-
that. All right, so we talked a little bit about the name. We talked a little bit about the band. So what are you looking to do a little bit? Tell me about what you're looking to do.
You want me to be honest?
Yeah, to be honest, quite America is a country of dreams, man. It's good to have dreams, man.
All right. I'm very serious about this, and I'll say this with a straight face. My end goal is to sell out Madison Square Garden.
Okay, that's a good.
That's how. When I started, that was my end goal. That's what I want to do.
Listen, let me tell you something. A lot of bands been there and sold out Madison Square Garden, so there's no reason why you can't do it too if you work hard enough.
The only reason it doesn't work and people say it's 1 in a million is because that 1 in a million didn't give up. The only reason you lose is because you give up.
Okay, well, I agree with that philosophy. I'm big in that philosophy. Like, if you quit, you don't have a chance.
Yep.
How can you win if you quit?
Quit
You
is
got to
never
just keep on
prosper.
going. And what you have to understand is, the way life works is like, you got to take a series of steps forward. Every once in a while, you're gonna back up a little bit. You got to compromise organized a little bit, man. But what that gives you an opportunity to to refresh what you did before, take a look at that and improve it. That's what it's all about. So don't get discouraged. Because, listen, everybody is a critic. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's going to tell you this, that. Everybody knows better about what you're doing than you do. And that's just the way life is, man. So you have to really believe in yourself, which is a noble attribute, man. And you're a young guy, and that's great. I wish I was like that when I was young, but I wasn't thinking like that. Okay, it took me a little while, to get into the frame of mind. I was telling you earlier, like when I was young, I didn't know what the hell was going on. Now I know what's going on. I'm not really. I'm just bullshitting myself by thinking it. But anyway, so what's next? You did your gig. You got your album. You're writing some more new songs.
Oh yeah. I'm always writing. I never stop writing. What do you want to say?
Yeah, we always write, but we're not looking to record a new album for a while. Like,
Yeah,
we're probably gonna sit on this one, play as many gigs as we can.
Okay, well now that we're talking about this album, I think I want to hear another song. We got another song coming up here, and I think we're gonna do it's called.
Lone Wolves?
Figure it out.
Oh, figuring it
How
out.
to figure it out. And we're gonna let it roll right now. Okay, so bring it on.
When nothing wants to go your way, you just seem to whine and complain. You only have yourself to blame, but that drives you insane. You need to learn how to run. You need to stand up for yourself. You need to learn how to run. You need to stand up for yourself. I needed some help. I needed some help. Couldn't figure it out by myself. I needed some help. I needed some help. Couldn't figure it out by myself. We all have a hard time being alone, so we'll learn how to get stoned. Tell her it's not that hard to pick up the phone. Don't have that much time of my own. You need to learn how to run. You need to stand up for yourself. You need to learn how to run. You need to stand up for yourself. I needed some help. I needed some help. Couldn't figure it out by myself. I needed some help. I needed some help. Couldn't figure it out by myself.
I'm loving that stuff, man. Everybody's getting together and rock it out, baby.
That's what it's about.
I love
That
that
is what
stuff,
it's
man. It's
about.
great, man. It's great. It's great. It's wonderful, man. You can just let it fly like that and be really passionate about that, man, and just put a little show on. Because half the whole thing when you go out there, and you play music, I go to a lot of clubs and I see a lot of bands, and sometimes I wonder how these guys do it. They get to the club at like 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock, and they sit there, they bring all the equipment out of the truck, and they get a little spot in the corner. They got to move the tables to the restaurant away, put the set the equipment up, do the sound check, and then the first set there's like 12 people in the room, about 9 o'clock, and then about 10:30 some more people come in and they get to play, but they're playing a lot of other people's music, hits from the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, the same thing over and over and over and over, and then at the end of the night they got to pack everything up, put it in the truck. By the time they get home, it's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. How much money can they make? It's a tough life to live, man. It's very difficult to do that kind of stuff, man. So like when you do it the way you're doing, you're not going to get as much work, but
Yeah.
you can go a little further, man. Now this particular song, Figure It Out. You mentioned earlier about this that you were having like a bad dream or something, or
No, not with this one. This one was more.
We needed another song for the album.
We needed
and
a song
I
for the
happened to
album,
have
and he
something
had it.
that
you couldn't figure out what to do.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. That's exactly.
I'm quick, right? I pick right up on that stuff. Okay.
Yeah, like I had written that riff when I was like in 5th. I don't remember if it was like 5th grade or if it was 7th grade. I don't remember, but I had written it. I had recorded it multiple times. I probably still have the original recordings. And I wrote as many lyrics as I could to it, and nothing fit for me. I didn't like anything. I didn't like the way it sounded. So I met up with him years down the line when I moved up this way. And
Well, where were you before?
I was in Middletown originally.
Okay.
I had lived up there, and something happened between my parents where I just moved out and I'm living down here now. But anyways, I gave him I played him the
He played
riff.
it. He played it to warm up, and I was like, "What was that?"
And I was
said-
like, well, I wrote this, and
It kind of just happened
the title-
together.
Do you run a tape machine when you play? You tape you record everything when you
my
rehearse?
my phone has every scratch recording on it.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Remember
Yeah.
when we first started out back in the days when we would always run a little. Well, we had like a reel-to-reel back then.
I had a tape recorder.
A reel-to-reel tape recorder was ridiculous, but we would tape everything, and then at the end of the session, we'd go back and pick out the ones that we
That
liked,
sounds
and then
good.
and like I said, and then work on that particular riff until we got it really good, and then fit it together like
Yeah.
that. We cobbled it together.
That's actually how he made the solo for that
Yeah.
song. I recorded myself on his phone, and then he was at home for like hours on end trying to perfect that solo. In my opinion, that solo is the perfect solo that he did.
Well, because you wrote it. What did you?
No, he wrote that solo. he wrote the solo. He wrote the solo. It's amazing. And
Yeah.
the title of the song is about how you can't do it by yourself. You're not going to make it as a musician if you're going to be cocky and not compromise.
Yeah.
So figuring it out is about all of us coming together. That's what
As one.
that's as one band. That's what that title of that song means.
What a concept! I love that, man. It just, like I said, I just from the minute you guys walked into this place, I felt like you were a band. Which is very, very important. You have to support each other with that kind of stuff. Especially when you're writing things, man. Because like a lot of bands, I on the way up, I've been around a little while. I met a lot of bands, met a lot of people, been in a lot of rehearsals, in studios and stuff. You get these alpha personalities, and it's great that they're really creative and they come up with a lot of ideas. But sometimes, some of the guys in the background have something to offer also.
Yeah.
And they're like.
Yeah, we always
Yeah, we'll
ask.
call you when you need you.
We always ask each other.
Don't
like,
call me, I'll call you.
We
That kind
always
of
like
stuff,
ask
man.
each other for opinions. Like,
That-
does this sound good, or should I go higher or lower? Like, we all have an idea, and we all try to incorporate it in the music, so none of us feel like left out or less important per se.
Well, there you go. That's what it is.
Like,
None of these songs sounded like they sound now without them.
Yeah.
Because of them, they put their influence on it, and it made it actually 10 times better than what
Well,
it was
that's
originally.
how the music becomes more organic.
Yeah.
See, like I'm like a real control freak. You never guessed it. But, but when I play with my bands, I usually write everything. I usually write the rhythm, the bass. I tell the drummer how I want everything to go, and I let them go a little bit. Because I feel that when I'm playing my music, it's my music. I wrote it. I wanted to play it a certain way. Although like my last band, I had the Plan B band the last time because the first band didn't work out, so we went to Plan B.
Good.
You see, the Watchdogs didn't work, so okay, here we go, Crazy Rain, Plan B. And this kid Luke, Havernet came to play with me, and really gifted musician. He plays a lot of stuff. I really love this kid, but he would come up with stuff that do what you want, Nick? I mean, I just let him do it, Luke. Do we want Luke? Because it was just he was so good at it that it was no problem with that. But but it was difficult for me because I felt
is hard.
I felt
I
that
understand that.
being the principal writer sometimes you get
It's very difficult.
It's a little difficult because
like that
you want it a
too.
certain way. But it's
He
good
would
that
tell
you
me
guys
all the
you can
time
do that together.
He's like, I want you to sing it a certain way. I want to sing it a certain way. But
Some of them you did,
I'll
some
try
of
to
them-
tell him because I'll try to match the how everything is so my vocals can fit it, so I don't strain my voice trying to get it to where he wants it.
Yeah.
And it took him a little bit to realize that because he would be like, no, I want it this way. I want it this way.
I mean,
But
That-
It was hard. It was definitely hard to.
He has a vision.
It was
He
definitely
does.
because I hear it in my
Oh,
head.
hilo means love.
But it comes back to we're all really talented musicians. It's
Yeah.
cocky, it's not really cocky, but that's what we are. And when we all put our talents together, it
it's
just
one big
comes out.
motion,
Yeah,
just talented
Yeah.
It just becomes what we need it to be.
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
perfect,
What's the
but
expression? I think the whole is larger than the sum of its parts.
Yeah.
In other words, the whole thing is bigger
Yeah.
than the actual pieces.
Yeah.
It becomes something else. It grows into something else, which is a great thing. So, how do your parents feel about you banging the drums in the house all day?
No, talk about the
I'm not the loudest drum player,
Talk
you
about
know.
the couch.
But I probably am. Basically, all right. It all started. I didn't even want to play drums at first. It all started. I saw like the guys in the band. I was like 5 years old. I saw the guys with like the big horns. I think it's like like the tuba or the French horn, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Those big like golden horns. I was like, wow, I want to play one of those. They sound really cool. And
Shiny objects, I like them.
yeah, that's basically what it was. And I was only like 5 at the time, and I told my mom, I was like, because she started working at a music school, and she signed him up for guitar lessons, and she was like, oh, I'm gonna sign you up. Like, what do you want to do? And I was like, oh, I want to play those shiny things. And they were like, no, you're too small for that. Those are bigger than you. And I was like, all right, whatever. So then I guess she just like signed me up for a drum lesson. And I
Here,
loved
bang
it.
on this.
You want me to bang on the table right now? Okay, I'll just all right.
No, I'm talking about your mother, not your
I don't know. I can just. No. All right. You can just listen to our music, okay?
He's on the couch.
All right, let me explain myself. So basically,
There's nothing he won't just go around and start tapping.
yeah,
Everything's a drum.
Everything.
So yeah, I started taking lessons like when I was like 5 or 6, and then it just like evolved from there. I started taking it seriously. We recorded our first album in like a basement. It was just me and him.
Yeah, we had 2 projects before this that didn't work out.
That's why it's back from nothing. 'Cause we were nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Thank
yeah.
you, man.
So anyway,
The Watchdogs and Plan B.
yeah.
My
So
next band's going to be called The Third Step. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
yeah.
3 strikes you're out, or 3 strikes you make it, man.
But yeah.
Charm.
Yeah, it was pretty fun, and
So now he just bangs.
yeah. Now I just
bangs
play the drums everywhere, and you know.
Well, listen, we're about to get out of here. We're going to play your last song. What do you call it? We're going to start with the Lone Wolf song, the one that you wrote. That's the one you wrote when you were.
I wrote that, woke up at 2 in the morning. Everything was in my head. I was like, I have this song. I was feeling really, really bad for about 4 weeks. Broke up with my girlfriend for another girl. And then I wrote this song, woke Marlon up at 3 in the morning at my house. I was like, I just wrote our hit single. And I started playing it.
It was wonderful having you guys. All right.
Thank you.
Love what
Thank
you're
you.
doing, man. We're gonna have a great show when we come back on on April 22nd, man. Okay, back from nothing. We'll see you next time. 6 to an even, over and
You
out.
don't wanna be my friend, I don't handle breakups well. I have no tolerance for them when the girl leaves me. I wish to be somewhere she can see I am lonely without her. There's nobody else for me. There's a story to the song, a sick sad meaning for it all. There's a reason for a wrong, this is the rise to my fall. There's a story to this song, a sick sad meaning for it all. There's a reason for a wrong, this is the rise to my fall. That day, we made a list of everything that was in play of who we are. We are poor judges to the start. You led me on that rock, you didn't tell me to stop. Then the next day you're acting weird, telling me everything that I feared. There's a story to this song, a sick sad meaning for it all. There's a reason for a wrong, this is the rise to my fall. There's a story to this song, a sick sad meaning for it all. There's a reason for a wrong, this is the rise to my fall. I got nothing against you, I wished you would have handled it better. You said you liked me and I believed you. Put your words back in your mouth. You are a lone wolf forever, so don't like anyone at all. We're only humans, not machines. We can fear when we can't see. I like you, I swear I can't be a lone wolf forever. Mark the spot on your neck that you covered with your hair.